Hey! Good afternoon. My name is Tim, for those I haven't met. I am the father of the bride, and although I might be a little biased, don't you think my little girl looks And I also say I think the bridesmaids look pretty sharp. Well, because I want some peace at home, so does my wife. And so does this groom's wife. Mother! I understand there is a sweepstake on me. Can I tell you, you've all lost, I've been paid. The time of my speech will be exactly, you just have to wait. Claire and I would like to welcome all of you here. It's terrific that so many of you are here today to see Sarah and Kevin married and to help make this day one to remember. I know a good number of you have traveled for long distances from around the UK, from Switzerland, from Ireland, and from France, and a few from even farther afield, which I'm going to mention. Some have flown over from the States and will be turning around to meet you to go back to work on Monday. So Sarah's cousins, Yasmin and Andy, have flown in from Washington, an old friend Andrea from Seattle, two friends who live down the road from us for the first 8 years of Sarah's life, from New Jersey, Pat and Peter, and two of my very oldest friends, or friends I've had for the longest time. And one set of Sarah's godparents, Peter and Tanya, have also flown from New Jersey. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Kevin's parents, Barb and Bob, and to all of Kevin's family and friends who are here today. It's great so many of you have made it here today. There are a number of people who would have loved to have been here today, friends and family, but sadly are no longer with us. So I would like to just recognize them by asking you to raise your glasses and drink a toast to absent friends. Over the last 3 weeks, I've consulted friends of mine who have had daughters who have got married recently, friends whose daughters are about to get married, with some advice on what to expect today, maybe some things to say. For the most part, they were completely useless. One of them did say one thing to me that resonated. He said, be prepared for some unexpected emotion, not just on the day, but in the weeks leading up to it. And over the last couple of weeks, I have had the occasional bouts of melancholy. And I thought, originally, it probably had something to do with money. Pre-wedding organizational stress. Then I realized I had nothing to do with the organization. It wasn't that. Then I thought it was a natural apprehension about standing up here and making this speech. After all, those of you who know me well know how much I hate to stand up and be the center of attention. Yeah. I have no idea why I'm invited to what was I going to say? but a couple of days ago I realized actually it had nothing to do with that. I was sitting there thinking, and I was thinking that for most of Sarah's life, I have been her chief advisor. She calls me up for advice on everything. Where to put her pension fund, what computer to buy, whether to buy this iPod or that iPod. It suddenly occurred to me that was no longer going to be me. And I was really going to miss that. And someone else, and rightly so, would have that role. So it made me think, I'm not sure how I feel about that. When I handed Sarah over to Kevin at the ceremony, and I saw how happy they both looked, I realized that it was pretty unimportant, because I think at the end of the day, all any parent wants is for their kids to be happy. And I think you'll agree Sarah and Kevin look pretty happy to me today. Yeah. Yeah. How much longer have I got? I was thinking about Sarah's early years, thinking about what to say about her. And I realized that Sarah grew up a very confused child. Not sure whether she was English, American, or as her grandmother would have it, Irish. Not sure if her home was here or over there. But I think out of that confusion has grown a strength and a determination and a tenacity to make decisions and choices and follow her own heart in doing what she wants to do. And I admire that. And at times, those decisions aren't easy. For example, it is not easy to leave everything you know behind, everyone you know, and go off on your own to another country. And those here who have done that will know what I mean. So I really admire that. And I was thinking the other day that one thing, as parents, perhaps we don't do enough of, because we don't have the time, because we forget, is just to say to our children, we're proud of you. And I am, with both of my children. And I actually consider myself to be an incredibly lucky father. However, not everything that Sarah has done and her choices have been brilliant. Her choice of boyfriends. Dear Lord, each one she brought home, we thought we'd hit rock bottom. Until she brought the next one home. And then she moved to Switzerland, and we had hope. We thought, thank God. And she called us maybe a couple of months after she was in Switzerland. She said, I'm coming home next weekend. I want to introduce you to my new boyfriend. I said, what's his name? She said, Kevin. That doesn't sound very Swiss to me. What does he do? He hasn't got a job. I met him just before I left Novartis. He quit his job and followed me across. So we waited to meet this Kevin. And he came in and I thought, is he going to be a muscle-bound Hulk? Tattooed from head to foot. Boyfriend number 3. No tattoos that I could see on Kevin. Was he going to have long, unwashed hair on his backside? Boyfriend number 4. Well, enough about Kevin. Now, he seemed reasonably normal to me. When I met him, he said, let's go to the pub for a drink. I said, oh, here it comes. He's going to go to the bar, order the most expensive wine he can, and give me the bill. Boyfriend number 5. But no, he paid for the drinks. So I thought, this could be all right. And over the last couple of years, we've grown to know Kevin well, and we realize he's every bit as determined to pursue his own goals in life. And it's with some sense of relief I can finally say Sarah acquired some good taste. I do want to tell one quick story about Kevin. A little time before before Sarah's 30th birthday, Kevin called me up and said, I'm planning a surprise party for her in Rome. Would you like to join us there? Claire and I immediately thought he's planning to propose. Kevin denied this, said the thought never entered his head. But we thought that was probably going to be the case since Claire and I met in Rome and it was a lucky city for us. Anyway, I heard nothing more from Kevin for about 6 or 7 months, until a week before we were due to go, when he called me up and uncharacteristically, with great nervousness in his voice, said, I'm thinking of proposing, he said, of proposing. Do you have any objections? And I said, no, I've got no objections, but I do have 2 questions. And he said, what are they? I said, well, question 1 is, are you prepared to treat her well? He said, of course. And I said, and are you prepared to support the family? And there was a pause. And he said, no. I'm prepared to support Sarah. You and Claire will have to make your own arrangements. Apparently, it's traditional that the father of the bride give the new bridegroom some advice. And I have such advice for you. It stood me in good stead for 40 years. And I think if you pay attention to it, it will help you. And I'm going to quote an American poet here called Ogden Nash. And it's called A Poem for a Husband. To keep your marriage brimming with love in the loving cup, whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up. I don't sweepstake, but I'm going to stop now. So if you would all be standing, raise your glasses. Sarah.